Indeed, Tash. The city has woken to an eerie new world this morning. Melbourne effectively ground to a halt at 8 p.m. last night when that curfew kicked in. And now, after that time, you're only allowed out of your house for 3 reasons, being work, receiving care or giving care. And everything closes down. Even the supermarkets are on board. They're closing early as well to discourage people from being tempted to break those rules. Now, the curfew is then lifted at 5 a.m. every day, and this morning there is a bit of traffic around with people going to work, and there's also a few people getting in their morning walk and jog. But even exercise has changed. You're now only allowed out for 1 hour per day to do that, and it must be within a 5-kilometre radius of your home. In fact, everything you do except for work must be within that 5-kilometre radius. And after one night, it would appear that it is somewhat working. Melbourne's pedestrian counter has revealed a decrease of almost 50% in foot traffic overnight, and at Southern Cross Station, one of our 2 biggest train stations, just 55 people were recorded there between 4 and 5 a.m, and that is down by 50%. But of course, one day's data, Tash, is not enough to keep this going. This will be in place under a state of disaster in Victoria for the next 6 weeks.
Well, people, did you hear that? That's over in Victoria, Australia. They got the curfew in that say that you can't be out like after 8 p.m. You can only like go out like if you're sort of wanting to go and do like grocery shopping or to go to work or to exercise. But if you're going to be exercising, he has told you that you can only go within the 5-kilometre radius of your home, which is sort of quite a big radius, but it's like 5 kilometres, so it's quite huge radius, but which is about just over 3 miles of radius or so. And it also says that somebody you had to have like means masks and mandatory, something like there it is. Wildlife has returned to near normal for the majority of Kiwis across the ditch of the fresh daily wave of COVID-19 has seen a state of disaster declared in Victoria with strict lockdown rules and mandatory mask wearing. Shoot, that's not healthy for the person. Cause when you say, oh, why are you not wearing a mask? Well, it's bad for my health. Well, they're going to tell you, say, you still got to wear a mask. It doesn't matter. That's what they're going to tell you. And then also, which I'm going to probably just get to it. Let's just, and of course the mainstream media is there to scare us about the second wave or something. They say, oh, get ready for the second wave. Get ready. And that's going to probably cause people to panic buy or something. That's going to probably be the case. They're going to probably panic buy. And yeah, they're going to like people are going to panic buy. So they're just going to tell, oh, get ready, get ready. And also, let's go and see about the mask. What happens if you wear it for a long period of time. So let's just get to it now.
I'm going to do a little test here today. A lot of people are saying they're getting headaches and stuff from wearing the mask that they're requiring us to wear pretty much everywhere we go. And I'm going to test oxygen level under a mask using an OSHA approved air quality monitor that tests for oxygen levels, hazardous gas levels, LEL, CO, NH3, H2S, stuff like that. This monitor is bump tested every day. It's calibrated every 30 days. OSHA requires 19.5% oxygen to work in a space. Look it up. Normal oxygen levels is anywhere from 20 to 21, right in that area. So I'm gonna do a little test here. I'm gonna put the sampling tube at the corner of my mouth, and I'm not exerted. I'm just standing here. So we're gonna put it right here. That's going straight to the air quality monitor. And we'll see what the oxygen level is. So I've got 20.5. Okay, 20.6. That is the oxygen level without the mask. Now I'm going to set the camera down, put a mask on. Okay. Do the same test, hose in the same spot. You can hear the alarm going off. That means that there is a hazardous atmosphere. And we'll see what the levels are.
Wow, people, you see? Hear the alarm?
17.4.
Ooh, that's too low.
Starting to go back up. Okay. It's going to clear at 19.5. And that's what is required to work in a space. So, if you're wondering about headaches and stuff like that, there's why.
Yeah, here you go, people. Wearing masks is actually bad for your health. You see it in this video? Because you're not getting enough oxygen to your body. You're not breathing enough oxygen, and for oxygen level, it has to be at least like 19.5 minimum. If it's below that, that little device will sound alarm because that means the oxygen levels are too low. So people wearing masks for a long period of time is very hazardous for your health, or probably even for a short period of time. So let's just get back to that lockdown, and they're trying to tell them, they say, oh, you still gotta wear a mask, but although it's not gonna do a thing for you, even that, because the virus particles are very tiny, it can fit through the smallest hole in the mask. The smallest hole, it can fit through it, because the viruses are tiny. So people with masks don't really do much. So, and yet, of course, Melbourne says heading to a New Zealand style lockdown. Looks like it's more serious than that. And of course, they're going to be going with that COVID vaccine as well, which is designed to genetically engineer your body or something. Which I'm not going to take it. Never. I'm not taking your crap. You're not injecting that crap in my body. So you can just go and shove that up your ass. Gates. Because it's my body, my choice. Bill Gates, it's my body, my choice. And look like that's over in the UK, that's where it's getting tested. As you can see the plugs and that, it's not the same as New Zealand or the US, you know, that's different plugs. And yes, the endless game of COVID-19, Rick Moore, New Zealand expert on why stage 4 should cover all Victoria. Well, I guess there's going to be some things for you to read through as well, and compulsory mastering. Well, lucky in New Zealand, no. Curfew, no. Takeaway food, no. So comparing to the level 4 lockdown that we have, so this is way beyond level 4. Yeah, I think this is more like a level 5 lockdown. Definitely is, yeah. 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 So, man, this is actually more. This is more worse than the New Zealand's lockdown, level 4 lockdown. This is so like a level. It's gonna be like a. If it was sort of be like the same, it'd be more like a level 5 lockdown to our version, though. Boy, stuff that. This is going to be so torturous to people's lives. and they're going to be told to social distance. And yes, means you can't go and chat to people and they all hug each other because of that virus. Oh, they're there to scare us. Oh, there's a second wave. Get ready, get ready. They're trying to panic us, people. The media is trying to panic us. I'll tell the mainstream media you can just shut your panicking, mongering out your ass. Yeah, because that's where it belongs. Out your woo-woo. Out your woo-woo. Yeah. And it says in the world, COVID-19 coronavirus, or we might call it Roma, Melbourne, now under one of the strictest lockdown in the world. Yeah, it sounds strict pretty much, and they say it's just a stage 4, and they actually even got a stage 5. Yeah, right there. And there's another headline to it. I might actually go to it as well. Yeah, and they say if it doesn't work, they got a stage 5 lockdown. For crying out loud, people. For crying out loud. This is going to be turning people. And yes, and now isolation. And they say the Roma documents isolation underestimate the vacation best case of end of 2021. Well, and it could say, and it says it costs about 5,700 for 14 days in an Auckland facility. That's a lot of money, people, to accommodate you, to accommodate one person. And there's the document there, people. And there's a cost. Yeah, accommodation there, food, other facility files. Yeah, like laundry, that wrap around the sports, health and welfare, management support team, and they all cost per person $407 per day. Wow. And for a fortnight, $5,700 New Zealand dollars. For crying out loud, people. And of course, and lockdowns are always causing harm as well. Lockdown had killed 21,000 people, data suggested. And see, people, if that's really the case, that means lockdowns have caused more harm than good. Because do you know there's other countries that didn't lock down? And there's Sweden, Belarus, and there's Uruguay, yeah. And there's Uruguay, Belarus, Sweden. These are the 3 countries that near lockdown, and they seem to be doing fine when it comes to the virus. Yeah, just make sure I got my mic on. Yeah, and I'm about to watch a video from the Brave Company, and people, let's just sit back and relax. And watch the Brave Company. Yeah.
So, if you haven't already, you need to start getting prepared, okay? Start stocking up on some food, start buying stuff that you need now, because it's one thing that we're going to go into a lockdown, but I believe that we are not going to survive this lockdown, economically speaking. I feel like it's really quite probable that the economy won't bounce back from.
The economy won't come yet. He said it. You do prepare, people, if you have some food at the supermarket as well. And yes, I got some flour and some yeast when it did become available. But people, when you do go grocery shopping, please do not be greedy. Leave some things for other people. And make sure they do get some as well, because... And people, now it's the time that we need to start helping each other. Because, man, if we are going to really help to get Jacinda Ardern out of office, which I'll get to that now. So for now, let's just continue. Yeah.
From this, okay, the economy is hurting enough as it is. I just can't see how that it will come back after another lockdown period. Businesses are already laying off staff. There's still some good, strong parts of the economy, but when you have the knee in the back of the neck of this economy, like Jacinda Ardern has, and she's choking off all of our oxygen, we're pretty weak, we're pretty woozy. And so if we were to get hit again with another COVID lockdown, that would really bring a toll on New Zealand. And
Well, people, I hope you are hearing this, what he's saying, because once we do go through another lockdown, it's going to be more strict. It's going to be beyond level 4 for my advantage, because Jacinda Ardern, she is determined to win this election. She is determined. And people, we really have to stop being complacent. Now is definitely a time, because they're trying to lock down this month as well. And they were saying they were going to do it around on the first week, which I don't feel they hadn't did so yet. So people on still remain vigilant as well, because they could do it any time if they choose. And he said it would happen within 45 days. And people, the election is only 44 days to go. 44 days to go. So we really gotta vote to advance New Zealand. Yeah, we need a vote for the Advanced New Zealand Party. And let's get Billy T.M.K in. Yeah, Billy K in. Yeah, we need to get it in. So let's just continue on.
And it would mean that the government would have to go into money printing and money creation on a scale magnitudes bigger than what we've just recently seen, which would mean that every consumer good you buy, doesn't matter if it's clothing or food or gasoline or energy or anything, everything you would buy would go up in price, and it would get really out of control.
Yeah, he said it will say it will get out of control, because with all the money printing, that means, yeah, hyperinflation, people. That means the money is going to become worthless. So people, if you do have money in the bank, do try to spend that money. Get some gold and silver. Because, man, I heard that gold is going up. It's at a record high. Let's go and see that now. Yeah, I'm going into it now. Look at that, people. It's now 15 years. See, look at that. The New Zealand dollar, 3,000 New Zealand dollars for an ounce of gold. And it's now almost $40 for an ounce of silver, people. See that, people? It's really going up. It's now the time, because that does create huge for inflation. Now it's the time that you do get some as well. I know I'm not economist or something though, but we know that money do become worthless when there's hyperinflation. Food becomes expensive as well. It's probably time that we need to really start helping each other, start growing our own food. The mainstream media is not going to tell you what I'm telling you, people. Please get this in your head. The mainstream media is not telling you what I'm actually saying. Because for what I'm saying, it's not it's not the narrative. And yet, because for the first time in history in US dollars. Let's just go and look at US dollars. Here it is there. There it is. See? $2,000. Yeah, I'm going to find in US dollars. Look at that. It has to pass 2,000 like in the first time ever. It's record high and it's still going up. Same thing for silver as well. So I'm going to find it in US dollars. There it is. 26 and a half US dollars. And I'm going to go to the exchange rate here and yeah, there it is there, and we got New Zealand now it's buying it. Now we got 66 and a half US cents to our dollar, and it's also $1.50 to the US dollar. So yeah, there it is, people. And man, because once the cinders idea is going to start pretty main like crazy, this is going to go right down, and this is going to go right up. Cause imagine that means you're going to need means to even get a US dollar, means you're going to have like probably like hundreds or tens of dollars or something, because if when hyperinflations do kick in, once Ardoon starts printing money like crazy, because you said what Brave Company was saying. Let's just see what he was saying again.
In money creation on a scale magnitudes big, the government would have to go into money printing and money creation on a scale magnitudes bigger than what we've just recently seen, which would mean that every consumer good you buy, doesn't matter if it's clothing or food or gasoline or energy or anything, everything you would buy would go up in price, and it would get really out of control. And I think that this government is quite keen to break the back of capitalism, because we know that Jacinda's a socialist.
Yeah, it's all about bringing a socialist nation, people. And yet she's trying to print money like it and on a scale that's never seen before. And you know what's going to be the result? Hyperinflation, people. And man, that's why we had to vote her out. She is really out of control. She's borrowing money like crazy, borrowing billions to get military equipment as well. And getting our national debt up higher, and also reducing our country GDP as well, and that means debt's gonna be so hard to pay back, man. We gotta vote her out. That's why she's gonna try to bring that lockdown in before the election, so she can try to win. If she wins the next election, man, New Zealand's gonna fall for sure. What? And there's the pro. Well, I'm going to get back to that soon enough. So let's just continue what Brave Company was saying.
We know that the step beyond socialism is communism, and we know that
Communism.
ultimately that's always their goals. The goal
Exactly,
of socialism
mate.
is to usher in communism. It's the
That's
glossy
their agenda.
magazine cover, on an otherwise depressing and shitty read. That's exactly what it is.
Wow.
So don't go thinking that we are out of the woods, because we're not. New Zealand is going to get dragged right back into this COVID fiasco again. I expect a great deal of civil disobedience by people like myself, like
including myself
people
also.
who understand that their rights are being impinged, their rights are being crapped on and violated with every single day that these types of mandates are persisted, and we won't tolerate it. We'll
Yeah,
stand up to it. We're not going to roll over for these people.
exactly. We
And
cannot
so I
roll
feel
over
like this
people.
lockdown is going to be very different than the last lockdown.
Yeah,
Now, all around
it's
the
more
world
like a
right
level
now, in
5.
Germany and the United States, you're seeing a lot of people protesting hugely
Oh, yeah.
against
Whew.
draconian authoritarian rule, telling people to lock themselves up in their houses for weeks and weeks on end.
Wow.
People are losing their shit, and New Zealanders were really
Yeah.
struggling during the last lockdown. Some of us had a great time, others really struggled. This time around, people aren't going to tolerate it, because people are going to understand this time around
Yeah.
that the economy won't bounce back, and that it will mean the end of a lot of people's livelihoods, jobs, businesses, hopes, dreams, aspirations. A lot of things are just
Yeah.
going to be completely destroyed
Oh,
because
boy.
of this coalition
Really?
government and the evil people behind it, who want to use COVID as a mechanism to control us, psychologically as physically, and so that they can implement their own New World Order communist control. Not kidding. That's exactly what we're doing here. And we have to fight communism. Okay?
Exactly, mate. We have to really fight communism. It's the time that we need to stand up and say no to it, and it's time that we need to rise up, and it's time that we need to get Jacinda Ardern out of office. And man, if they're going to try to bring that lockdown on other people, it's time that we need to stand up for New Zealand and fight back, because we are not going to put up with this crap any longer. It's definitely not the time to be complacent. The time that is to rise up. The time to rise up is now. I mean now. Because Jacinda Ardern, she is really committed to winning this next election. And we need to get the follicle, this person, Billy T.M.K, into office. We need to get him in. Vote for Advance New Zealand. And no, because man, if we want our life to be as awesome as it will be, and if we want New Zealand to be the great country to be in, well, I think that's all the time. Stop. Now it's time that we need to go into the last article. And yet, protesters starting to rise up, and well, look at that, people. There's a lot of people. They're rising up. They're saying no. Good on them. Good on those people. I salute you. I salute you. Awesome stuff. Yes. And that's what we need, this stuff, kind of stuff in this country. We need this to happen here in New Zealand also. Because those people are fed up, and me, I'm also fed up. But we need people, we need to stand together. Because if we don't...
As we see these rises around...
Well, there's Boris Johnson, Boris Morris. Boris Johnson. And yes, there's that fella. Yeah, there's that health minister. He says that Health Minister Chris Hickson did not rule out forcing business to provide QR code for COVID Tracer app. News Hub, yeah, and that's on News Hub, people. And the reason why I brought this, because this is important stuff there, and this is an important article there, people. We need to read, we need to listen to what this fellow say carefully. Yeah, he says that, oh, if you don't have the QR codes, if you're a business, we're going to fine you $4,000, or we're going to put you in prison for 6 months. Well, people, man, I hope you really enjoyed this video. I hope you got something out of it. I know I've been rambling a lot though, because I know something is coming. And we need to stand together, people. We hang separate. And well, people, and this is all I gotta say. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you got something out of it. This is Matthew Miller, signing off, over and out.